So yeah, this is gonna be our last update for about 3 weeks or so. I'm going on holiday, which is really nice. I have got one Saturday back in a week or so. I might put out a little video of trains running or something, but this will be the last update for a couple of weeks. So because of the holiday, I haven't been able to do a massive amount of work, but I've done enough to put out one last update. So I'm going to start off here. This is the corner of the lake which you saw me building in the last video. I've now finished off a bit more. The jetty which you saw in the last video, I've now painted that a dark brown colour. That's really hidden the brightness of the old matchsticks, made it look a lot better, added a little bit of greenery on there and around the base, and I think that's really finished it off nicely. I'm going to have a little boat or something in there as well. As well as that, around the edge, I've added a bit more of this green here to look a bit more like lily pads and stuff, and I think that's come again on quite nicely. Just finishes off that area. A little bit more scenery to do, trees and things like that, but that's all to come later. Now, as well as the jetty being painted, I've also added in a little path running down the back. That there was just done using wood chip that I brought from my local model shop. Cut it, well, I picked out all the smaller bits. This is sort of 2 different sizes, and I'll really put down a path, and I think that finishes off the jetty quite nicely. It's got a nice little path running from A to B, and I think it looks quite good. As well as that, I've done a little bit of work on the static grass, which if I spin the camera on slightly, which I've done a little video for, as you've seen. But as what I did is basically added another layer of grass onto the top of the original, and I think it looks quite good now, running for a bit more of a greeny colour here through the greens to the brown at the far end. I think it looks really good. The camera doesn't quite pick it up as well as it does in real life, but I think it really finishes it off nicely. It gives the grass looks really thick, nice and tall, thick grass. I think that finishes it off really, really well. So then this is the next area that I was working on. I did go out and buy some ballast. I decided to go to my local model shop in the end because it was just easier than waiting for the postman and all this and that. So I've now ballasted up this area here. If you watched the previous update, you'll notice that none of this is ballasted from about here down to, well, actually I've actually ballasted along the back of this as well, but it's not glued yet. But as well as the ballast, I then had to add a nice layer of black soot and dirt and grime, whatever you want to call it, which really finished off that area. It also dulled down the ballast. It's a very slightly different ballast to what I've been using for the rest of it, but it's just enough there just to dye down the ballast, the colour of it, making it a bit darker. I think it looks quite good. Just going to pick up the camera. Along the back there has also been ballasted, no glue yet, but I will be adding some quite thick soot and stuff like that, like from where the coal has been falling off the crane and things like that. So it's been two quite thick bits about here and here, and then just light dusting all over the rest of it. I want it to look really grimy and dirty around there, so that will all come. So as well as that, I've got one of the little trucks out that I've got. So you can sort of see about where it's going to sit. It will sit around there. It's about the correct position. I think that'll look quite good. The crane can sort of, unload it and load up and all that sort of stuff. Around this area here, you can now see the ballast a bit easier. I'm going to be adding grass, static grass down this area, where you can see the brown. And I'll be adding a fence all the way along, which will just be post and wire fencing. And I think I'll finish off the area quite nicely and create a gap. So this is the final bit that I've been working on. I've stuck down the track now over the hole. I haven't done any more of the concreting yet, but I will be doing some more. I'll be covering up the gaps in the middle and around this area here, and I think that will finish off this area quite nicely, especially when I sort of grime it up and weather it a bit. I think that'll finish it off quite well. But what I have done is, as I said, stuck down the track. Now it's all working. I've cut out the middle here, so you can see it's a nice cut out there, so you can get to the underside of the loco to maintain it. I've also built myself a little steps here out of matchsticks. I'm going to have to obviously paint those, weather them down a bit. I'm not quite sure if I should paint them wood or if I should make them concrete or stone or what, so I haven't quite decided on that yet. But when I have, I'll paint it that colour. But yeah, this is all I've done for the moment, and I think it looks quite good. I'm going to build a fence around basically where the shiny black meets the matte black. There's going to be a fence running around there to separate off the two areas, the car park and the maintenance area, and I think that'll look quite good. So, assuming the train works, just going to bring it in. we have it. There's a nice little maintenance area for locos to come into. I think it looks quite good, the nice hole underneath and so on and so on. So yeah,